One senator, when he left, quoted Taylor Swift. Interestingly enough, haters gonna hate, but you know, that doesn't mean that we don't go to extremes to bring peace. That senator made my life interesting here, as you know. Our convictions and beliefs may be very different, but that does not mean we cease to argue for them with the utmost respect for the person whose views we oppose. And ours have been different, I know that. Government is a necessary institution, but much less capable of delivering functional families, neighborhoods without killing, and a peaceful and prosperous country than we think. Its effectiveness, I believe, will be equal to the compassion and servant leadership of the politicians in power and their willingness to have tough, crucial conversations. Speaking of crucial conversations, there's a place called purgatory, perhaps where most of my bills reside. That's that intermediate state after physical death, which some of those ultimately destined for heaven must first undergo purification so as to achieve the holiness necessary to get into the joy of heaven. Perhaps they're destined for hell in one of those 7 levels in Dante's Inferno. I suppose it's a matter of where they're headed. Seeing that the majority of my bills have ended up in a world like this without any hearing, I might add, except for the first subcommittee hearing in the last 10 years in Labor Committee this morning, let me mention just a few so you don't forget when I'm gone. Senate Bill 3609, never got a hearing, talks about how we arm dependable, qualified people in our schools to protect our children, talks about how we give our children the same protection as we as legislators are afforded. They should enjoy the same protection. Senate Bill 77, justice for the poor, that we have enslaved in the entitlement welfare system. Yes, drug testing, work requirements, gradual reductions in benefits as their earnings increase, not just taking them off the system and leaving them alone. And that's for those able-bodied adults on assistance. Penalties for cashing assistance benefits so they don't continue their addictions. Banning their participation in gambling so they don't use the money we gave them to destroy their life. And photo IDs on benefit cards. Senate Bill 1358 and 1349. Remember the one that you dared me to call at the softball game? And it was finally called, workers' compensation. The result of that was 25 yes votes, 6 nay votes, and perhaps a record 28 present. The one reason I came here was that, because business needs a break in this state. They don't need opposition. They don't need to be told that they're evil, and they need a break. And they only need to pay when they're the source of the problem. By the way, even the senator from Moline voted for my bill. Senate Bill 657, mixed martial arts, sanctioning bodies in this state. Why that bill doesn't move? I can only assume that someone is being protected. For years, it hasn't moved. I can only assume there might be corruption. Numerous budgets, and I want to say thank you to President Cullerton, because in this last budget, he had an open door and listened. Didn't always agree. We had some of the same ideas, but I want to say I appreciate him for having an open door. But folks, spending plans will not instill the discipline required to protect the next generation from bankruptcy. We must be honest with people we represent and begin to make promises we can keep. And last, the subcommittee hearing this morning, Senate Bill 1658, independent contractors. I know it's not real sexy, but here's the truth. As a businessman, I've been penalized, I've been fined for doing my best to adhere to the law, while politicians break it day after day after day and are not held accountable. Politicians should not be treated as a special class and be allowed to operate above the law that our businesses must abide by. It's not right. I hope this is something we take up in the future. Our tolerance of the status quo in Illinois and the United States, which is sadly characterized many times by corruption, self-service, and power-seeking, this is unacceptable. As leaders, we can all start over by repenting to God and the people for not doing more of the things that deliver good to the people and not just ourselves. We must be good stewards of the gifts God's endowed us with to help our neighbors, the poor, and our fellow citizens. May we all gather from within us the courage to stand for what is right for the people of Illinois, not just for our party or anyone's rise to power, including our own. It's been my honor and privilege to serve with you, to spar with you, and be entertained by you. If not for the training and experience and wisdom I've gained from my time here in the Senate, if not for God's provision, I would not be prepared for my next assignment to serve our country. Lincoln said, "I bid you an affectionate farewell." I feel the same love for you. May God bless you and give you favor as you honor him, serve with courage the people of Illinois. Tutonana, karibu Kenya, see you later. You're always welcome. I would be honored to introduce you as my friends. Thank you.